Welcome back to Callsign Horus, where our need for natural light has impeded our ability to light this video well. Welcome, one and all, to the 64 subscriber special. We have a stack of subscribers. Last video, I said I wanted to make a more positive video, so here we are, more positive video. We're going over something that makes me happy. My entire airsoft collection, which, don't worry, you'll get to see a full picture of it soon, but first, I wanted to go over every single gun in my arsenal. And the way I've decided to do this is I'm going to go through pistols in the order I got them, and then rifles, sort of in the order I got them. It's not exactly perfect, but, you know, it's alright. So, let's start with the handguns. Now, this one is a serious callback. This is a non-blowback Elite Force H&K USP 45. It actually has legit licensing. I'm gonna see if I can't get that on camera for you guys. So yeah, this thing doesn't work anymore, as you can see. The magazine is literally this weird little metal stick that goes into the bottom of this thing. And what you're supposed to have, actually I think I can still show you this, hold on. Oh, there's actually still a CO2 cartridge jammed in there. As you can see there, the back of the pistol grip comes up, CO2 cartridge goes in there, and that's what powers the gun, because non-blowback needs significantly less recoil than blowback, or needs significantly less gas, I should say. And, well, it has a brutally hard trigger pull. Like, I'm an AR guy, right? I have some AKs, all of which have fantastic triggers. This thing's trigger is just so, like, it's a tough trigger. It's not a great trigger. This thing I got as a Christmas present, and it's still one of my favorite guns, even though, well, it doesn't work anymore. I got some really good kills with this thing, and I recommend it for anyone who wants a simple airsoft pistol for just whatever. Having one of these is good for really anything. You know, you want to train someone on how to use a gun, you're not really safe giving them a gun right off the bat. This is a good option. You want to go play airsoft super cheap? This will help you. Just grab a couple extra mags, you'll have a great time. Overall, I think this is a pretty good pistol. I don't use it anymore for, well, obvious reasons, but all in all, I have had a really good time with this pistol, and I would not say anything bad about it, except that putting CO2 in it's a pain in the ass, but, you know, there's always a downside, I guess. So, H&K USP 45, not a bad handgun. Alright, I'm gonna do these at the same time, because they are literally the same exact pistol. These are two Elite Force 1911 Tacks, one of which I clearly use, and one of which, this is a parts gun. So, full disclosure, the reason this one looks so beat up is because this upper is actually this pistol's upper. What happened is the hammer assembly got absolutely destroyed when I was playing around with it, and didn't work anymore, so I ordered a new handgun. Swap the uppers to, you know, this one, which works, and I put a flashlight on this one. This one is basically a parts gun, so if anything breaks in here that needs to be replaced, I replace it with this. Is it the best idea? Not really, but it works for me, so there's that. Now, do I recommend the Elite Force 1911 TAC? Absolutely. This is one of the best handguns on the market to this day. I know the P320 or M17 or whatever it's called has come out, and that one's exceptional. I know there's a lot of really good Elite Force Glocks. I know there's the ASG P09. There's a lot of good options. The Elite Force Hater is another good one. I don't think you can quite beat the 1911. It's got a lot going for it. White dot iron sights, a tactical rail for lights. This thing, you can find replacement pieces easy for it. Magazines are cheap. They're like 15 bucks a pop. And CO2, like, I've used green gas. We'll talk about green gas here in a minute. There is no comparing green gas to CO2. Yeah, green gas is a little easier to use, but CO2 gives you some reliability that you just can't get with green gas, so that's why I personally like CO2. But, you know, that's just me. I'm more than happy to have someone go into the comments and tell me why I'm wrong. I'd love to hear from you, but yeah. This is my standard sidearm, and I love it. Wouldn't trade it for anything. Alright, last of my pistols. This is an Action Army R30. And yeah, it's green gas. Make fun of me all you want for just, you know, gushing about CO2 and then picking up a green gas pistol. This I actually bought off my friend Caleb Tucker Airsoft, who, if I remember, there should be a card up there. If you have the chance, get into his Discord. He constantly sells guns for dirt cheap. I think retail price for this thing was like $180 or something, and I bought it for $100, so, you know, you want cheap guns, Caleb's the guy to get him. And this thing works, by the way. Actually, hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna get the mag for this thing. Alright, just to prove this thing works. Put a little green gas in there. I'm gonna dry fire it just to prove it works, but here you go. I did not put almost any gas in there, so it died immediately, but as you can see, it works. Now, I don't use this handgun for a couple reasons. The first one is this is more of my showpiece. I would use this for, I don't know, just kind of goofing around with friends. But there's other few reasons I use it. I don't use it, I should say. First off, green gas, not as reliable as CO2. Second, you cannot get nearly as many magazines out of this as you can in Elite Force 1911. You can get about 1 mag out of this with a full gas fill. With a CO2 1911, if you let it sit between uses, you can get 3, 4, maybe even 5 whole magazines out of it on a good day, right? But this, you kind of are one and done, and the gas drops off considerably with every shot. So your first few are amazing, and then it goes into okay territory, and then it ends on, you wish you had better gas fill. But that's not a problem with the seller. That's just a problem with the gun itself. These are, for all intents and purposes, showpieces. They're not really meant for hardcore gameplay. Or if you are going to take them out, you should probably HPA tap them to use them. Again, that's not a comment on Caleb. That's just the way the gun is. It's like saying I bought a $100 cheap AK and, you know, it can barely shoot brass. It's like, yeah, because the gun's $100 fucking, dude. It's not good. Or it's like buying a sports car and being mad it can't drive in mud. That's actually a really good example. Don't buy a sports car and then drive it in mud. It's not made for that. This is a showpiece, and I like it because black and silver are 2 of my favorite colors. So for me, this is just a pretty gun I intend to use for maybe a movie or something that I shoot with my friends. I don't know, but I do really like the way this thing looks and feels. So I'm pretty happy with that purchase. That is all of the pistols in my collection. We're finally going to get to the rifles, and I think this first one is the most appropriate out of all of them. This right here is a hodgepodge of different pieces. As you can see, it's like an M4A1 with a 416 receiver set. It's kind of gross, but I really like it. Here, I'm going to get it in full view for you guys right here so you can see it. This thing actually works quite well. It has very low FPS, but I'm not one of those DSG monsters who is like, I have to have my gun shoot 10,000 BBs a second. That's really unnecessary for me. This thing just has a responsive trigger, and overall is a good gun. Actually, hold on, wait a minute. I think. Oh yeah, I took the barrel assembly out of it. I'm gonna have to put that back in there. I'll remember to do that. But the reason I'm showing this one off first is because I actually intend to sell this minus the grenade launcher. I'm going to take the grenade launcher off of it and sell the rest of it. So if you would be interested in that, get in contact with me over Discord, or I'm going to leave an email in the description below that you can email me at and say, hey, I want to buy your goofy looking M4 off you. Do keep in mind, I'm keeping the grenade launcher, but you get everything else on here, including this little sling mounting point, stock, pistol grip. There's some magazines in the box. We'll get details sorted out if you want this thing. I should mention this is very important. These are not negative threads. These are 14mm positive, not 14mm negative. So your typical suppressors will not fit on these things. Let me grab one muzzle device just to show you what I mean. As you can see, muzzle device, right? Trying to put it on. It does not want to go on. 14mm positive threads on this thing, so you're going to need to get a thread adapter. There's your fair warning, so don't buy this, try and shove an Ace Tech on there immediately, and be like, why doesn't it fit? I'll tell you why, it's because it's not meant for that. And I'm kind of getting tripped up trying to take this tracer off of it. There, alright. So yeah. Goofy M16. Pretty good gun. I just want money for other things, like an FAL build. So yeah, this interests you? Hit me up. We'll get it sorted. Alright, next one. We have another Christmas present. This thing's going on about 5 years old, but it is still one of the best weapons in my arsenal. This is my tactical AKM. And it looks kind of goofy, but it works really well. Now, don't panic. It does say Lancer Tactical on here. However, this is a rebranded SEMA. This is like a CMO 48M or something like that. I don't know, but this thing works great. I have never, ever, ever replaced a single internal component on this gun, and it still works good. The original hop-up rubber is still in this rifle, so that should tell you just how good it actually is. There is one kind of gross thing I did to it. I'm gonna take the PSO off so you can see what that is. If you look at the side rail mounting system here, you can see that it is actually held on by cold weld. It didn't have a beaver mount when I first got it, and I really wanted to be able to put on an optic that wasn't all the way in front of the handguard, you know, so the rifle would weight better. And, well, I took care of it. Before you ask, no, this is not for sale. I'm keeping this thing until the day I die, probably, because I love this thing. And at some point, I will probably turn it into a Chinese AK because it has the vented gas port up here. I just got to replace this front part, replace a few other things, you know, maybe get an underfolder. Something, boom, I'll have a Type 96. And that'll be pretty cool. But yeah. This AK, I really like. I highly recommend SEMA, actually. There's a lot of people out there who say SEMA's no good. You know, SEMA's cheap shit. Tell me, if SEMA is so bad, and I mean like bad, why do their guns still fetch a good price, even used? I'm telling you right now, airsofters, if you've got a SEMA and you don't want it anymore, you can sell that shit for almost retail price. These things last forever. SEMAs are good. Buy a SEMA if you're gonna buy a gun to get into airsoft. Seriously, SEMA. It's good. I love LCT too. I love my. I don't love Crytek. I love my G&Ps. I love my ICS. There's something special about SEMAs. They just work. Trust me when I say it. They just work. Trust me. All right, moving on to my third gun. In the rifles category, this one has a lot of sentimental value to me. This right here is my Steyr Aug. It's been custom painted, and to put this bluntly, I'm going to tell you why this rifle has so much sentimental value to me. So in the 8th grade, or no, the 7th grade, I met a kid by the name of Jacob. Now Jacob and I both had the same obsession with guns in the military, and we thought it was so cool, and we both liked airsoft, and we became friends pretty quick. I remember one day in like 9th grade or something, he came over with some spray cans, and we painted up my Steyr Aug, and we painted up his OP, or AMW, or whatever you guys want to call it. L96, L115, whatever. I have a lot of good memories of this thing, playing airsoft in my backyard with one of my best friends. And my buddy's now off in the Navy, and, well, you can see the day this was posted. Recent events have me kind of scared for him, so hopefully he'll come home soon, and with all of his limbs intact, hopefully. And his life. Holy fuck. But, yeah. I miss my best friend, and I really want him to come home so we can hang out and talk, but, yeah. A lot of good memories with this thing. Definitely not going to sell it. I do intend to HPA tap this thing at some point. I'm thinking about putting in a nice Kythera like I did with the next rifle we're going to see, and just absolutely destroying kids with this thing. Get a nice magnifier on it. I don't know. I'm going to hook this thing up, though, and it's going to be beautiful. Alright. Now, onto a build you guys are probably going to, well, you common viewers of the channel are probably going to recognize quite a bit. Say hello to the Kythera build. It's been modified a little bit since you last saw it, but as you can see, I got a nice LPVO scope up top, and this rifle keeps getting more and more cursed the more and more I work on it. So, first things first, how do I say this without sounding crazy? Its regulation chamber, is like goofed up a little bit right now, so it's shooting a little bit under where it should be shooting, but it's shooting straighter. I don't know how those two things add together, but they do. Another thing. Yeah, you guys aren't gonna believe this shit, but the rifle has gotten lighter. Yeah, I put a heavier scope on it, and it got lighter. It went from approximately a 7.5 pound rifle to a 7 3/10 of a pound rifle. I don't know how that works, and I don't know if you know how it works, but if anyone knows, tell me. And also, I'm going to point this at you guys, don't panic. As you can see on that scope right there, there is a flash kill. I'm going to get this real close to the camera, hold on. Yeah, there's a kill flash on there, and it's held on with fucking electrical tape. Because the gunner optic I bought, you can't thread the flash kill onto it, so you have to tape it on. And it's, like, rock solid. Like, it's not coming off of here, funny enough. It can shift very slightly, but outside of that, it is dead on this rifle. This thing is still probably the most accurate weapon in my whole arsenal. It's still got its cool-ass green laser demonstration. Pshaw! And, I love this thing more than life itself. I'm very proud of how this thing turned out, and I'm very glad I got to document the process of putting it together. I do promise that when I build my next weapon, whatever it is, I'm going to do better filming it. I'm going to make sure you guys can see what I'm doing more. I'm going to make sure you guys are more involved in the process as well, because I want to put together an FAL. These really cool FALs went up on sale on Evike. I think JG or someone makes them. I'll put up a picture on screen. But I kind of want to buy one, and I kind of want to build it, and I really want to have you guys involved in that process in somehow. So, you know, maybe when I hit 100 subs or something, I'll open up a Patreon, and my patrons can help me figure it out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. How should I do an FAL project and get you guys involved with it? I'd love to hear your feedback. But yeah, Kythera Build, definitely one of, if not the favorite rifle of my entire arsenal. Love to have this thing. Love to use it. And I can't wait till G2 gets their field back open so I can just snipe some fools with this thing. It's going to be one hell of a time when I finally get out there. Alright. Time for the Storm Company members to collectively cream themselves. Ugh. Say hello to Nadia, my friends. This is my LCT RPK. And she is so big, she doesn't quite fit on the screen. There we go. Ugh. So, Nadia, as I have dubbed her, is my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful RPK. there has only been 2 modifications done to this rifle. The first one, well, auto rifle, I should say. First one, wooden pistol grip. Had to get the wood on there. It's necessary for RPKs. And the second, I had put an optic up top. And I asked Instagram if I should keep it, and the consensus was, no, I shouldn't. So she went into surgery, the tumor has been removed, and we have a classic leaf sight on top now. I greatly apologize for my sins and vow never to repeat those mistakes again, so long as I live. This is my promise to you. But aside from that, there are 2 really cool things about this RPK in particular. The first thing that I think is really neat is that the battery actually goes in the stock. I'm not going to take off the butt plate and show you guys, but as you can see, there are these 2 screws, and that's how you take off the butt plate. You stick a battery in there and you seal it back up, which is good because getting this dust cover off is nearly impossible. Like, you can do it, but then getting it back on, I have only taken it off a handful of times. I need to use a fucking hammer to get it back on there because it is just such a tight fit. It refuses to go back on when that dust cover comes off. So do not take your dust cover off your RPK unless you are willing to bash it back into place. And the second thing, RPK bulge right there. Oh yeah. I'm going to zoom in on that. Embrace that RPK bulge. Oh, that's beautiful. Alright. Enough fawning over my wife. Let's get to the last gun. And some of you are definitely going to remember this. And I have a really cool announcement about it. This is my Masada. As you can see, new optic up top. We have a EOTech now. But recently, US Airsoft released a top 10 CQB builds. Your boy took number 9 with this thing. Hell yes. And to prove it, card. Go watch that video. I'm going to have it in the description below. And if I can, I'll have it up here in the top right showing. But yeah, I was ecstatic to be on US Airsoft's top 10. So if you would, go watch that to prove I'm not a liar. And just enjoy the fact that I got on. And you know what? Further to that, if you've ever wanted to post some board or some top 10 countdown, do it. Because if I can win with this, you can do it with whatever you built. Alright? I'm not special. I'm not some super builder. I'm not God. I'm not Brandon Herrera. I'm just a guy who has a nice looking ACR. And I got on one of the biggest YouTube top 10 series for Airsoft. If I can do it, you can do it. So I encourage everyone out there who wants to go submit for a top 10 build, just do it. The worst thing that can happen is you don't make it on. That is actually the worst thing that can happen. But you know what? That worst case scenario will occur if you don't submit your build. So, what do you have to lose? Except like 5 minutes of your time. Aside from that, that is the whole arsenal. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me what you guys think of the arsenal in the description. I'm going to have some overview of everything. Set some music. But aside from that, I'm fucking hot. I'm going to go take a shower and get a snack. I hope you guys had a good time. Hit that like button. Share the video to all your friends who would want to see it. Comment down below what you think and subscribe for more heresy. I have some big plans here in the next few days. Stay tuned. And oh, I might have a patch update in the next few days. So until then, catch you weirdos later. Peace out. Fuck. Hold on. Auf Wiedersehen.